Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program with me, Hobo, where we are going to attempt to get to Duna. Now what we're going to start by doing is coming down this list of rockets here to the MEEX, or the MEE-10 even, and we are going to modify it slightly just to see if we can take some parts off it. So we're going to try and scale it back a little bit and see if we can help this frame rate issue that we're having off the launch pad, and still get to Duna. I think there's a little bit of room for efficiency in this, just by removing a few tanks of fuel from each stage. So let's go ahead and take this stage off just for a moment. And let's just take this stage off. And that one. And let's remove this tank of fuel in here. Maybe we'll see if we can take another one off. Just going to need to move these separatrons as well. We will strap this back down. And we'll get rid of that. That should be okay there. The other thing that I wanted to add was RCS fuel, just to help with a little bit of mobility. And of course with that we need RCS thrusters, so I have some up at the top. We'll have some at the bottom, and then we'll put our tanks back on thusly. We'll keep that stage of don't know why you feel that so much has gone so wrong that all these separators here have come undone, but I'm nothing if not accommodating. Oh, sugar. Damn it all. Oh, Kerbal Space Program, people who work at Squad, when you putting that undo button on this? Please, an undo button. It's not a huge amount that I'm asking for. Or a way to select things more specifically. I don't see how I could have been more accurate with that. I don't know. Okie doke. So that's that we're happy with. Now we're also going to chuck this back on. I think this might be the stage which is causing the issues. But I'm also rendering a video at the same time as I'm doing this as well, so I don't think that's helping. And let's just take you away for a bit. Okay, probably didn't need to do that. Yep, maybe we can lose these tanks. We could add that back on. And maybe just lose one more. So it's had a bit of a diet there. Hopefully that should be a little bit easier to move now without having suffered too much in the way of power loss. So good, all those stages seem to have worked as they are. So this is going to be Duna, is that right? D-U-N-A? Duna bound 1000, and these will go up in multiples of 1,000. So let's save that, and let's go ahead and put that on a launch pad. Oh, of course, I didn't finish doing the strapping down of bits. Let's see if we get away without doing that. That's the engineer who turns around and says, "I forgot to bolt that down properly. The hatch," or something like that. So yeah, I think rendering a video at the same time as trying to play this is taking its toll a little. Okay, let's just see how it settles down. I'm interested to see what these struts are doing up at the top. No, it doesn't seem... Yeah, I think rendering the video is asking too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the game now, and I'm going to carry on recording when I finish rendering the video and I can do all this properly as a sort of standalone effort. So I will be right back. Okay, so we came back to the rocket and everything's freed up nicely. But yeah, as I thought, these haven't attached properly. Also, something missing over this side. Big explosion. So I think we're going back to the workshop. This is going to be a flight termination. Whatever reason, we can't go back to the VAB from there, so we have to go to the tracking station and come right round. Oh, not the... not that one. Right, so back to the VAB. Load... Duna bound 1000. Let's have another look at this. So maybe it was these here which were spazzing out a touch. So we could add them like that. And like that for security. Oh. But of course with the multiplication on. We'll just strengthen these last bits up. And then as for the exploding rocket trick, let's try moving them like that, eh? Maybe it could be lowered a touch too. But without the rockets clipping through the floor. Okay, I'm going to go ahead with that save. I don't think it's worth saving it under a new number. Clear the launch pad and proceed. It would be nice to have a button which would be to zero its base to the floor as well. Okay, so let's see how this one goes. And it's freed up. Nothing exploded. Go throttle up. Add the SAS. I'm going 5, 4, 3, ignition, ignite. And we're getting away a lot faster than we have before. We may need to add some fins to this as well to keep it from torquing. gaining speed, yeah, at a satisfactory rate. See what happens when the solid rocket stage burns out. So they drop away nicely. That's good. Again, we're going to go with the same technique where we're just going to go straight up on this stage. 200,000 was the height that we were getting to last time, so we'll see how that's affected by removing those tanks, what sort of weight to thrust we're going to achieve. But we've just broken the sound barrier, so we're going Mach 1. Seacan Kerman is our astronaut, cosmonaut, Kerbal naut today. Yeah, I think that we actually probably could have really done with those extra few tanks there, because we're not going to get anywhere near the sort of height we were at before. Also jarring around quite a bit. Atmosphere starting to thin out now. We're about to run this stage through without even getting out. Oh, just as we get out of orbit. And that's the Separatrons gone. Going to flip over, put the RCS on to come down on this 90 line. Stop us talking. Go on. It's still very heavy. But the RCS is certainly making things quite considerably easier. So pop that on there. I'm not too worried about spending this RCS fuel because it's... we're going to jettison it all off pretty soon anyway. 158, so about 120,000 meters is going to be our burn time. I want to put some roll on us like that. And 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Sure, we're not going to hit anything on the way around. See how well we can open this up. Okay, so that's coming open quite nicely. Probably just get this to the edge of this continent and then cut the burn again and wait to move a bit closer to the periapsis again. Oh, you can't left click your RCS tanks. I don't know what stage the RCS tanks have been... Oh, it's there. So yeah, I'm not, like I say, I'm not particularly worried about that at all. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to cut the burn because it's developing so nicely. In fact, no, I am going to cut the burn because we don't need it to develop as well as it has. We'll just get a little bit higher and then start maybe trading a little bit of the downward speed. We'll cut the RCS just in case this stage is going to be a bit more useful to us than I thought. And we'll go for another burn again. I'll finish off our orbit. I'm not particularly worried about it growing anymore. Again, we'll cut it, we'll just fast forwards a touch. Okay. Oh. Now, I can't hear anything, but the way that that's behaving... So, 160, 191. It's not the most round orbit, but it's an orbit nonetheless. And with that, we are down to the last bit of fuel in this tank, and then this midriff section here is going to be our interstellar travelling stage once we jettison all this off. But for the time being, that's where I'm going to end this particular episode. So I would like to thank you very much for joining me. My name is Knee-High Hobo. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe to stay up to date with the rest of the series and see what happens to Seacan and if we can make it to June in the first flight. Yeah, put a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.